I suppose it was only a matter of time. I did actually purchase a ZRC, this ZRC. Everyone probably thought I was going to buy the orange dial one, and so did I, honestly, but when Tyler at Exquisite Timepieces sent over this one, I instantly fell in love with it, even more so than the orange dial. And I don't know if it's just the time of year with the warm tones, it's a full lume dial. I don't know, but this one definitely just works for me on so many levels. So I'm excited to share this one with you. And again, big thanks to Exquisite Timepieces, Naples, Florida. If you're ever in the area, definitely swing in. Otherwise, you can purchase it all right online. You can talk to a salesperson directly on their chat that pops up on their website. It just comes up. You can dismiss it too. You can close it or just say just browsing or whatever, and don't talk to them. You can call them or you can talk to somebody in the chat. But when you talk to somebody in that chat, it's actually a salesperson that actually works at the store. So it's a pretty good function they have within their website. Or you can reach out directly to my personal contact, Tyler. Tell him I sent you. Whoever you talk to, tell them that I sent you regardless, but I'll provide Tyler's contact information down below. So if you want to pick up a ZRC or any of their authorized dealer brands of over 60 at this point, and I was just talking to Tyler today, they just picked up another one, the WEN watch. I'm gonna get one of those in soon. It's super high crafted Chinese brand that is just spectacular dials and finish and everything like that. I'll get one of those in soon to share with you guys, but they're pretty special watch for sure. So let's get into this guy here. Let's talk about size. Let's talk about measurements, and then we're going to talk about some of the weird features or functions that it has that most other dive watches do not. So I'm going to give you a couple width measurements because you can see the case shape of this. It kind of like peaks out here on the sides. So the absolute width of this would be 41.38 millimeter. Now, if I measure offset, so from here to here, it's only 40.8. So we'll just call it a 41. We'll split the difference, right? So it kind of wears like a 41 as well. Now the lug to lug, I folded over this link here because that's kind of how it wears as well. So the lug to lug on this is 49.1 millimeter. The thickness is 14.6, and I was quite frankly, I was surprised by that measurement. It doesn't wear or look like it's 14.6. It almost wears and looks like it's 12 and a half, but yeah, I measured it. It's definitely 14.6 millimeter. You can see that crystal is slightly proud, chamfered, proud of the bezel and double domed with AR coating on the underside. Now the lug opening here is 24 millimeter. So if you want to put a different leather strap or different strap option on there, it's 24 millimeter, but it also has screw pins. So you got to keep that in mind. So you're going to need a special tool for that. You know what I didn't grab, and I'll grab it right now, is the crown measurement, which is going to be a little tricky to measure. I'll have to sneak in here because it's a big crown. Yeah, I was going to guess 8 millimeter, and it's right there, just below it, 8 millimeter. Now, speaking of the crown, I want to cover that real quick because clearly you can see it's in a weird spot. It's at the 6 o'clock, which requires a special lug design here. That lug design is also intentional in the fact that in order for you to wear this watch, that crown does have to be screwed in. Now, screwing that crown in is backward to what you would think. It's actually reverse thread. So to unthread it, you're going to hold the reason I'm telling you guys this, because I've talked to a couple of people at Exquisite Timepieces, and there's been a few cases where people have messed up or bound up with their crown system. So to unscrew it, you go righty-tighty, right? So it's reverse thread. So you start it. Just start it. Don't unthread it all the way because you want to move that out of the way, then finish doing it. And the only reason I started just 1 or 2 turns is because you don't have leverage in this position to do it. So then it pops out. Now you can't fold this. Do not force that. This is going to cause problems. Don't do it. The reason this stops you from wearing it is so you don't wear this and go in the water with a non-screwed down crown. So in this position, it has a nice pop to it. You can, of course, wind the movement. You can pop it out. First position, adjust the date. Last position is going to hack the movement, and you can adjust it. Now, to screw it back in, it's exactly the opposite, right? You have to push in and turn like you're lefty-loosey, but it's reverse thread, so you're going to be tightening it. And then again, just tighten it until you're good. You should be able to fold your link over and then finish tightening it. And you don't have to crank it down, just snug it down. You're good to go. So it's a little unorthodox, it's a little weird, but sometimes it's a little weird is what you want in your watch, and that's what I wanted with this watch. The other thing it has that's pretty unique, it's different, and you can see it's actually labeled right there. It says ECS. So this is a system that they developed because this watch was originally designed for, it was the Navy dive team that disarmed underwater mines. I think I got that right. So pretty unique function, but they were in salt water. So salt water can kind of gum up your bezels and stuff like that. So when they would surface, they would have this ECS system, and you can see there's a nice little slot right there. So you would flush fresh water, and that actually would put that fresh water all inside the bezel, in between the bezel and the case, and then it just kind of flushes out around it. So you would do that and then kind of turn it and stuff like that, and it would just rinse out all the salt. So you wouldn't have that gunk. Because over time, if you have a dive watch, which I actually need to take the bezel off my Monster because it's been in the salt water and I haven't really thoroughly cleaned it, you really need to pop that bezel off, clean it all out with a brush and everything, relube the gasket and put it back on. That's how you service a bezel that has been in the salt water. You have to remove it. This one you don't have to. It is a 60-click bezel. It's a little weird to grab because it's kind of shallow, but it's got a lot of retention on it, and it's a 60 clicker. And you can see kind of unique double dots at the cardinal positions and 3 dots at the 12. Of course, this is a full lume dial. That was one of the things that drew me to it. There's other strap options. There's the ZRCs with brushed, regular stainless steel cases. I haven't seen one with black with a full bracelet, but you can get a full metal bracelet, and they have an interesting clasp system on those as well. But this one's all DLC, diamond light coated, so it is very scratch resistant as well. Let's pop it on my 7 1/4 wrist so you can see what that looks. The movement inside is the automatic Sellita SW200. It does have a little bit of regulation going on, so it is a little bit more accurate than just off the shelf. But here it is on my wrist. It wears great, kind of vented rubber strap here. So again, that's for comfort, and it just kind of cleans out really good. ZRC on the, it has 2 buckles here. This one actually has like a little indent on it. I'm guessing this is for smaller wristed folks. I feel like the strap could be a little bit longer, but it works fine. I'm used to a little more, tang sticking out here. Just like, I don't know, another 1/4 inch or so would probably work, but there it is on wrist. It absolutely wears great. There's no crown dig in it over here or anything like the crown's over here. And it's a unique looking watch, and I dig that. That's just where I'm at in my watch collecting phase of life. Is the ZRC going to be something that's going to be drawn to you? Maybe if you're into like the French Navy, or you're into like kind of more heritage brands like this. But traditionally, you're going to buy more like quote safe type dive watches, like the Seikos and the Tudors and everything, like whatever you want to pick, whatever brand. But at some point, you're going to look for something unique, a little more different, a little more standoutish when you're in a group or in a room full of other watch enthusiasts. You want something that's a little more unique. At least I do. I'm not looking for recognition necessarily, but I'm looking for just to be different. So, and this one accomplishes that for sure. So I'm excited to have this one in the collection, and super happy that Exquisite Timepieces carries the brand, so I was able to have immediate access to it. Check out the Lume. I supercharged it with the UV light, and I will have to let you guys know that it initially starts off really great, but I did notice like overnight, by the morning, it was fairly weak, which most watches are, quite frankly. By the morning time, they're kind of weak, but there are some watches out there, and you guys know who they are, the Seikos and some of the heavy hitters in the Lume department. they'll go all night and you wake up in the morning and you can still see it. It's not going to be as intense as it started out, but it's still going to be bright. That's not the case with this one. It does fade pretty good amount. It'll still have some lume, but it's mostly faded. Thanks for watching, guys. Oh, I didn't mention the price point. You know what? Just click the link in the description. I forget. It's a little over $2,000, like 23 or 24 or something like that. I forget, honestly. But I'll see you guys in the next vid. Thanks for watching.